quiet. And today's show was so much fun. And, I mixed these down into play-alongs because, and a private collection. So I do that so that I can obviously have a nice mix in my YouTube channel that you can listen to the concert without all the talking. And then, of course, I'm able to mix them down for, what do you call it, for play-alongs. So, and I get all those different mixes. So I'm mixing. Here we go, huh?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's a quiet evening here. It's Friday night. Looks like everybody's starting to get out a little bit. But I've been mixing and mastering the shows lately because I got a new mixing board and I'm able to record the shows in multi-track format. And then I'm able to take this SD card, dump it into my mixing computer. This is the computer I record my CDs and stuff with. And But what I'm able to do is I'm able to import the tracks from the session since I'm able to multi-track record those on my new mixer that I'm using. I import those tracks, and these are the imported tracks. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of getting a balance so that I can make that private collection mix that you guys see me put up on my YouTube channel. So if you go to Tony Monaco Favorites, my YouTube channel, um, you can go to the playlists. You can actually see um, that these mixdowns now are available for your listening. So I basically right now have tweaked the guitar, got everything, got the drums tweaked, got the auto align, got the tracks all clean, ready to rock. Now I'm going to play this Ode to Billy Joe. You might enjoy this. Good evening. Hope you enjoy the sounds. This is mastered. So when you're listening to it, this sounds like a record. So I'll get this sound out and enjoy this while I tweak some more. What I'm trying to do, excuse me for yawning, I always yawn this time. It's probably, I should be going to bed, but you got to work. You got to do your thing. So right now I'm just trying to get a full sound on the organ because I use a simulator for the show. So there's no bleed, but I also do it so I don't keep the neighbors up at night if I decide to do a late night show or something. So right now I'm just trying to get that organ to sound full. That's important to me. So I'm using some parameters and messing around. So see if you like this track. It has Derek DeCenzo on the guitar and Willie B on the drums. And that was the show that we broadcast earlier today. Thank you. Good evening, folks. How we doing? Welcome to the studio. That's today's show. What I'm doing is I'm mixing and I'm mastering it for my private collection, which is up on YouTube, and then also for my play along series. That's something that's new because I have this multi-track board, and I think it's really kind of cool that I can do this. So, kind of makes me feel like I don't know. It's really kind of special to be able to do this. So this is a link. Let me see if I can do that. My playlist. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if I can copy this link here. Oh boy, messing around with different systems. You know? Oh, I got it. Okay, here it is. So if you go here, I got what I do every show is without all the talking and stuff, you know. I have the Mixdown that you can listen to without the show stuff, you know. Since I do some talking and promoting and all that. Go to these playlists. What's really cool, check out the playlist called Play Along, because there's from the first few shows that I started multi-tracking, I put those play alongs for free. And that way you can sample them out. And the last three shows, there's the reference all, which is the whole show that you'd get if you get the play alongs. And what's cool now about the play alongs is actually I have 6 different mixes. One with no guitar, one with no drums, one with no bass, one with no keys, one with no bass or keys. So it's really ideal for organ players, and they're gig ready. So I have each song separated so you can actually like queue them up. You can buy like 5 or 6, 3 or 4 shows. They're only $5 for the whole set of each show play alongs. There's a link there if you look at some of the play alongs of the last 3 weeks. So anyhow, let me. So yeah, anybody can play along with them. So that's what's so cool. If you're a bass player and you want it, you could take it out on a gig and have this trio. Just you play the bass, or if you're a guitar player, you can scratch out the guitar player. So I think these play alongs are special. Now we ended up doing this version next of Toots Thielman's song Bluesette. I really like that tune. And Willie, the drummer tonight, is so strong. So you're going to find this to be an exciting bluesette. So the sound you're listening to is already mastered. I master and mix at the same time. That's what I'm actually doing. I'm getting all the levels right. So tomorrow, when I start punching the button and getting the mixes for the play along, the mixes for the private collection set, I've done all the work, you know. So here we go, man. I hope you enjoy it. You're listening to pure audio coming from my DAW's output of my interface, going straight into another interface for this. And, you know, I like to have a lot of fun. That's what I do. So glad you're with me tonight, man. It's good to see you all. Hope you're all feeling good and getting optimistic, but be cautious, okay? I get my next shot on Thursday, my last shot. And some gigs are starting to open up, but I think we've got to be careful not to jump too quick because as we've seen before, what happens, it creates new problems. So just be very careful. All right, well, let's go into Bluesette.
1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go.
So I am kind of neurotic about things. Playing that instrument for so many years, you gotta be somewhat psychotic. So what I'm trying to do here is really maximize a mix that's got some dynamics, really get it hot, but yet don't let it sound smash. I'm not hearing any smashing. Is anybody here hearing anything uh, that I'm not hearing? Just curious. I know Henry's here. I respect your opinion. I know I respect all of your opinions. I think it sounds pretty good. I don't really hear, like, sometimes if you push it too hard, what happens when it gets, yeah, good. Yeah, I don't like smash. 'Cause sometimes what happens, it doesn't sound like it's smashing, but when it gets really hot, you lose something, like the bass or something, but it sounds like everything's hanging in there. Of course, the organ, when you got the full organ stops out, man, that's pretty hot. And, but I've got some compression going on that area. I think enough. So this was the last tune now that we played today. What the heck was it called? Oh, geez, see, it's getting late. Can't remember. What was the last? Oh, this is a really cool tune. I like it a lot. I haven't heard what we sounded like. Um, what I've done already, just to kind of preview what I liked, what I did with the show, is I did these soulful days. Yeah. So what I like to do is let me pull up the tracks. Is I do talking and advertising and thanking and all of that stuff during the show. So now I'm making a template for the play along. So if I zoom in on this, let me rewind all the way. Let's see, zoom in a little bit. There's your count in for the play along. So when I do the what do you call that? Private collection mix, I just mute the count in. So you just get a clean, let me get this restarted. Get a clean music. Right. But yeah, I tell you, even though I'm splitting it for the play along, he said the Leslie sounds real. That burn is really good. But I also found there's you really got to tweak it a little bit. So I cut the highs down a little bit. And of course, I'm compressing everything a little bit. But this is for the play along. So I think when the show entrance is, I usually like make an extended entrance, where I'm refreshing all the pages and everything. So I did a cut to give it like I don't know, an 8-bar, no, 16-bar entrance, 8-bar entrance. So this sounds pretty natural. Listen to this first hit. It's like the guitar's a little early, but because he was playing from the phrase before. But it actually sounds okay. maybe I should just take the guitar and make it not so. Oh, I like that. That was even better. Let me fade a minute. See, sometimes just putting a little fade in makes the hit nice. 1, 2. Well, that sounds natural. Okay. Because there was like another I don't know, half a minute or better of me refreshing and talking while we're just playing that vamp. If you watch the video of the show, what I like to do now, these are project ready. So I've got all the gaps, all the count ins, all the space. So once I get done with this, I can mix the master collection. Then when I'm done, I can then mix the play alongs by muting different parts. Mute the drums and mute the guitar, then mute the bass, then mute the organ top, and then mute the bass and the organ top. So you got 6 different play alongs. And then each one of these songs will be separate in play alongs. They're only $5 for this whole collection, and you get the one with no drums, the one with no guitar, the one with no bass, one with bass, no organ top. If you're practicing the keyboard and you want me to play the bass for you, it's there. So I got these EQs built in. But what happens is when you cut them so that you can hear just the organ top or the bass, there's a hole in there. And so when I listen to it for the private collection, this is a work in progress. And it's like, I don't have years to put this stuff out. So I put them out every week. So I've just basically mixed today's show. But I'm really lucky the template I have now has got everything real clear and clean. So basically, this is the show. I'd like to see how many minutes it is for the private collection. So when you go to my private collection link there, my YouTube, and you look at the private collection, so Tony Monaco favorites, it's all one word. I put the link there. You go to the playlists, and then you can hear some sample playbacks for the play-alongs that you can actually play along. There were the first 2 shows I was doing this. Let's see, hours beats minutes. Let's put that in there. Let's see how long. So this is longer than a CD. It's 55 minutes. So, man, that's pretty good. That means on that hour show today, there was only about 5 minutes of gab. So, hey, Fraser, what's going on, man? Hey, Randall, David, everybody's here tonight. Good to see you all. Hope you're having a pleasant evening. It's just wonderful to be alive. And this is my other passion. I really like mixing and mastering because when I started playing my first professional gigs, I was 12 years old. I started when I was 8. And I don't know if you guys remember the old studios, but they didn't have like those Uralex panels and stuff. They had cork. So when you're 12 years old, you remember everything. And I remember the 2-inch tape, that big, you know, Mylar, the smell of Mylar, the big mixing boards, you know, and the smell of cork. But I remember that my first experience with figuring out I could do something. I was having a little band rehearsal at the house. I was 12 years old, of course. My dad arranged most of this stuff. And yeah, expensive, yeah. And you only get what, about 22 minutes of tape? No, a little bit more. But that's why an album you get each side. Um, but I remember I had a 2-track. And somebody talked about sound on sound. You could bounce everything to one track and do another track, and then bounce everything and do one track and one track. But all that stuff was mono, and you had to get it right. You lost generations and all this stuff. We don't know how fortunate we are to have this capability to cut and splice and move things around and just like that, or copy a piece here and paste it over there. you know, what? You had to get it right, and you had to get it right the first time because tape, like you said, is very expensive. So here we got this luxury of hard drives, and as long as everything. By the way, I'm going to do a save because you never know. When you're working with a DAW and you got things right, it's wise to do frequent saves in case you have a power outage. stuff like that. So what I did was I cleaned out all the talk, all the stuff, just got the count ins ready for the, play along. So, but I remember this, I had a 6 channel mixing board back then, a powered board. And it dawned on me after I'd been to the studio to do, I did my first demo recordings at 12. I got to find those tapes someday. I got to find them. They're in boxes, down in the basement. You don't even have the medium to play them. But I remember the smell of cork, but I got fascinated by the mold. Hey, Johnson, I got fascinated by the smell and sound and the whole recording thing, man. It was like, as much as I love to play Hammond B3, I love mixing. Man, when it sounds good, and it's smooth, you got something, Yeah, this is an evolution too. I mean, it was not too long ago that you put it on tape, and if you sent what you thought you had on tape to a radio station, it wasn't loud enough. So you had to send it to some professional place who had high-end gear that could cut the master. They did what I'm doing all here in one sweep. I'm mixing and mastering and getting the sound all in one sweep. That's amazing. The processes to do that before was ridiculous. We did it. But I realized when I was 12 years old, I had a little reel-to-reel tape recorder, and I had a 6 channel mixing board, and I realized that I could take 2 channels from that mixing board and send it. I mean, take those 6 channels and send it to the tape machine and have 6 channels. So if I was rehearsing, right, and I had 6 mics, one on the voice, one on the, couple on the keyboard on the Leslie, and a couple in front of the horns, one in front of the drums, stuff like that. So you could get a mix, what it was is what it was. And sound on sound wasn't really worth it. But then I kept saving my money. My dad, what he did was my first gig, he took me to the bank, money that I made from the first gig, and he opened up a checking account, savings account actually, and he taught me how to start saving my money. So every gig I played, I had a checkbook that I could write. I wrote the checks to the horn players, and I had to learn how to do all this stuff. My father was teaching me to be a businessman at 12. Book the gigs, call the people back, find out what they wanted. And everything was by telephone and paper and a calendar. It's amazing how much we've changed today. And so I remember when I was about 17, I think it was, somewhere around in there. I was at this guy's house, and he had an 8 channel Tascam machine. And that used half-inch tape. Remember, a lot of these 8 channels later, what was that, Fostex? They actually put 8 channels, they squished them down on a quarter-inch tape. And but I had the actual Tascam 8 channel half inch. And then and I bought that because I had saved my money. And then I bought a Tapco board. It allowed me to have 4 subgroups. And then I knew I had to master it or mix it. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about mastering yet. When you went to the studio, you mixed it, and they sent that off to be mastered so that you could cut an album of vinyl. I didn't know much about the mastering side. You had a 4 channel. I mean, what? It was like a big deal, right? And I bought me a Tascam 2 channel, 15 IPS. I couldn't get a 30 IPS machine. For those that are younger, IPS, inches per second. That's how much tape it would use. So the faster it went, your standard reel to reel would go 3.75 or whatever the number, 3 1/4 or 7 inch. 7 1/2. 7 1/2. Yeah, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 7 1/2. And then if you got a higher quality machine, it'd run at 15 inch. And then the big studios, they had the machines that had 30 inch. Can you imagine how much tape they went through at the price of Mylar today? So anyhow, you could take then the 8 channels that you recorded from your Tascam, run it through the board, right? And mix it down like I'm doing right now, electronically, digitally, and send it to the 2 channel, 2 track, as they called it. And then at the end, I learned how to do I bought the splicing thing. Do you guys remember this? And you had to take the tape and cut the tape in a slant, and you had that tape, and then you put a little bit of clear white tape to leader, like the sound in between, like what I'm doing here. The white leader tape is this space, and I could take all of these tracks and move them if I want. And change the distance. Well, you had to cut the tape, and if you cut it off too soon, you lost the last piece of the recording. Man, that was devastating. Uh-oh, I'm going to run out of power. What happened to my power? Hold on, run out of power. We can't run out of power, Captain. We have it back. Then you had to go back and remix it again. And the mix would never be the same because, it wasn't like you saved the parameters. You did it. So, like, sometimes you get these really good mixes and you can never get them again. Yeah, so mastering guys are like wizards. So, if you got a good, clean recording, which, these are, and if you look, man, I'm not like a million tracks kind of guy. Okay, I got this voice track up here. That's just for the count in and for the show when I'm talking. I didn't play any synths or electric piano today, so you're not seeing those channels. But the organ, it's only on 2 channels because of the burn. It runs stereo. And then what I do is I'll show you here in a minute. Then the guitar is just a one SM57 in front of the guitar amp. Of course, the drums, I use the stereo overheads, and I am lining them with auto align so that everything's in phase. That's a beautiful thing. And then here we go. Here's the master. So let me pull up. Let me do this. I want to get the last song. So here we go. Let's listen to the Soulful Days. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope that you're enjoying these. This private collection will be out in the next night. By tomorrow, it'll be out. I'll probably hit the mix button tonight. I think it's there. Or tomorrow morning when I wake up, I got students at 8 a.m. And then they'll be live in Tokyo. So I get to go around the world and never leave the farm. So here's the mix for the last tune. Tomorrow you'll be able to go to my playlist and actually listen to this. And please, tonight, go and see the last playlist. Go check them out. They're mastered like records. I know, man. Electric dance music, that's the big deal on Twitch. It's huge. I'm not there yet. I don't know how to do that. That's like a different generation. Maybe one of these days, man. But I see that there's 50, 60, 70,000 people who watch that stuff at one time. Some of these channels broadcast 24/7. I don't know how they make their money, but it's very interesting, isn't it? So here we only have about 13 people watching here and 7 over there. But you know what? I'm not doing it for that. I do it for my passion, and I'm sharing it with you because I love it. And I'm a happy camper, man. I'm really happy. I feel like finally in my life I've reached success. And that's not because of like how much money I make or how many people I see. Yeah, that's all cool and everything. And obviously, I'm trying to grow my markets. But success in the sense that I wake up with not feeling like, oh my God, what's this day going to be like? And I don't wake up that way. I wake up with, wow, got all this to do today. And then all of a sudden the day ends and I did everything that I love to do. And then at the end of the night, if I decide to do what I want to do now, I'm still doing what I love to do. So to me, that I think is success. It doesn't have to be measured necessarily monetarily, although it's nice to have your bills paid, of course. And all of those that support me for my shows, give me gratuity, and all my beautiful students that pay me for lessons have helped me make it through this pandemic. In our house, my wife teaches piano for kids, and I teach adults, or I teach every age really how to do the organ. So it's not like one of us works for a corporation or has insurance or any of that stuff. We're both doing it that way. So it's kind of cool. So once again, here's Soulful Days. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. There you have it. I'm pretty satisfied. Tomorrow when I wake up, I'll probably turn on this computer and start making my mix. I'm very happy with the sound of the organ, very happy with the sound of the drums. The guitar sounds very full, but yet, hey, Gustavo, how are you, man? Good to see you. So it's amazing, I could do a record a week, basically. So go to my private collection, check out some of the last shows. And, I clean up some of the whatevers, you know. Yeah, well, that hum, that comes out of the organ. It's just the way it is, man. You can't uh oh yeah, man. What are you gonna do? Um 60 hertz is right where the bass is. So you start pulling that out. I guess I could sweep and try to find it, but yeah, it knocks out the bass. I don't know. Do you have any suggestions, Randall? Got a good ear, by the way. That's the only annoying thing I got. It's in the organ channel, and there's not much I can do about that. I'm afraid to cut too much in that area because then you lose excuse the expression, the BALLS out of the organ bass. Um, I am doing a roll off at about 40 hertz down. So notch filter. I'm not familiar with how to use that. See, I can learn something. You mean just take the EQ and just pull out 60 hertz and see if I can clean up that? Let's try. Let me see what I want to do here. So I can pull it in where I know what I can do because I had the organ on for a minute. I know what I can do. Hang on just a second. I'll take it on this EQ right here. And I can put this right at, let's see, am I boosting anything here? I can put this right at 60 hertz. Pull it down. Make it real tight. Like that. Go at the end here. All right, let me do this. Let me go right here. This is where the is. Go find it. Let's go find it. So I can bring this back later, right? So here's where the noise is. Uh, let me put it back. Happened. Oh no! You know what just happened? Hang on tight. I that just freaked out the machine. I got to reboot. So hang on with me though. I think we got it. I think I found it. Right? Sounded clean. So let me see that. So I heard that that little bit of noise. See, it's a good thing I did a save at the very end, isn't there? So hang on with me tight for a minute. I'm gonna have to reboot. This system, by the way, um, this system I built, and I only used it for mixing and mastering. And I've only put out like about 10 records. So This is a quad core machine with like a 2.3 megahertz or 2.4 megahertz machine. Oh, magic's here. So yeah, it's just running what do you call it? Windows 7. I won't go online. This thing is just like a tape machine. It's like my Tascam tape machine. I just keep it, right where it's at. It's kind of stuck in time. No updates. Everything works. Occasionally, you get these things. Oh well. So, but I think I cleaned it up. So see, each time I do this, things get better. So I like that. I think we got that 60 hertz hum out of there. So we're gonna go. I'll go back and redo that. Just bear with me. It's gonna take a minute to reboot. I'm gonna get just a little bit more coffee. I can sleep. So by the way, let's see. Randall, was I on the right place? Was I in the right place just using like an EQ like that to notch it out, or is there something else? I'm so glad, man, your ears right on, brother. Thank you for I love this. This is what I love, man. All right, give it a second. We'll have it back up and running. Yeah, that hum is very little, but now we're gonna tell. So let me go back into this mix. See, and I did save the last version. That's what makes me happy when I get it all right. We'll go back on the end. But anyhow, like I said, I built this machine. It's a quad core, and occasionally I'll get one of those freezes. Random too. I use Cakewalk. It's free now. I used to endorse the original version. Let me go back down here and take these two channels here. These two right here are the organ. Organ. Let's go right in here. All right. So let me get up in the EQ area. Let me just start here. Turn up your system. I can't go any louder here. I'm at master levels here. But you can turn up your subwoofers or listen. Here it is. 60 hertz. Man, I could go into long stories about the cycles and all that stuff. But like in Europe, they're 50 hertz. And when you think about, let me go right at 60. Let me be really neurotic. All right, so I had the Q up high and brought this down. So here, let's listen like now. So, what do you think? I think I cleaned it up, right? Is that enough? Is that too much? Here it is. I don't know if there is a notch filter here, but anyhow, Let's go back and let me go back since we did that. Let me just see if it disturbed anything on the low end. It might be just perfect because I felt like that was pretty clean, right? Let's see what it sounds like in the mix. Okay, so it's a filter. Yeah, because I definitely can feel the drop in the bass with that. Notch filter. Let me see if there's something called a notch filter here. Let me look up. This is a cakewalk with BandLab. So let me look it up. Can you look up too? Let's see. Cakewalk BandLab. Notch filter. I'm sure I got some plug-in. Boy, oh boy. Bandpass filter EQ. Just set a very smooth notch. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me show you the plugins I got. They're just talking about something pretty much similar with what I'm doing here. Free media ME equalizer, but I've got a lot of plugins. Let's check it out. You guys are great. If you don't mind hanging with me, I don't mind looking it up. So let's see. I can add a plugin right here. Let's get this queued back up where the noise is. We can listen to it. All right. So it did kind of help, but like I said, it knocked it out. Of course, I can remix that. Let me see. What am I doing here? Dear Lord. All right. Down on the bottom here, I can add some. I can add into the chain some effects. So let's see. There might be some tinnitus effects too. Oh my. Let's see. Usually there's like the stoner stuff. Man, it's getting too late. I'm getting tired. Analyzer. There's the tinnitus group, which I usually just I don't know why they got them split here. Let me try it from a different place. Let me go in here. Just says filter. Man. Okay, here's Fab Filter. Are you familiar with that at all? A friend of mine gave me this plug-in if they still work. I was there. Is it here? Filter. I told you it's late, man. Okay. Which one? All right. Fab Filter Micro. Do you know any of these? These are supposed to be very nice plugins. Filter Micro. You want me to try? I'm waiting on Randall. About a 10-second delay. The big EQ. I don't have that. Let me see what this micro is. What is this micro? Hey, Gabriel, what's going on, man? Let's find if we got a preset out there in here already. Maybe there's already a 60 hertz. No, this one's not going to do. All right, let's delete that. Let me find another one. Filter. Filter Pro R. Ah, this is definitely a filter. Hey, Craig, what's going on, man? We're looking for notch filter for 60 hertz. Except I don't know much about this. Some of these plugins are new to me. Sometimes they got presets. But this doesn't seem to have presets. Although this looks pretty cool. All right, let's try a different one. I notched it with the regular EQ. Try another one. Filter. Let's see what this does. This might be a notch filter. Let's see. Default setting. I could be here all night. Yeah, I don't know much about these filters. Dehum. Yeah. Dynamics. Let me look for something. Might be in the EQ section here, though. Might be able to find something. Well, I'm gonna have to look that up. Let's just let me. What is this LP64? Huh? Maybe they got a preset in there. No. Let me look under here. Let me see if there's anything else in this article. They're talking about doing it the same way I did it, was with that. Oh, okay. Let me try this other one. There's one more I know of here. Let me find it. It's under the EQ, and it's tinnitus equalizer. This one. Let me see if they have a preset. Hum removal. Ha 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 ha. Whoa, look at that. Really? Holy cow. Well, that'll remove everything, isn't it? So maybe I don't want to put that on everything. How about if I just move that over to the organ master? Look at that. Got rid of it. What does the organ sound like? All right. Hang on. We found it. All right, guys. Thank you for your patience with me. That's how it's done. All right. Let's just listen. Did it destroy the organ? Let me just and it destroyed the organ. It destroyed the bass. But oops, not that one. Was that the right one? Okay, hang on. This one. All right, let me do something. Let me see if I can get rid of all of this other crap. We don't need all that, right? All right, let's see what this does. It's not noticeable, so that's pretty good. Let me hear what it sounds like over here. Well, you know what? I think we did it. Here it is with it. What do I got? Why? Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong effect. There's the hum. There's no hum. Okay, I'm going to go back and since it's solo just right here. Yeah, it's a little bit. What I like to do maybe is maybe not turn it down so much. Just maybe half it. Yeah, I think just halving it's enough. Let me listen from just silence. I'm happy with that. It's not quite, you know, all of it. Let's see, it'll go down 18, right? So let's go to half. Let's go 9. Let me cue it as tight as possible. That's it. That's it. Okay. Yeah, probably not. But you know what? I understand. That was pretty good. So here we go. I just notched a little bit. So I'm going to go back since we did that. I'm going to go back and play a little bit just to see. Just to see how it affected everything. If it affected anything. I like the first. First. Oops, you're not going to sound real good like that because you got this. Well, I think we got it. So what I was able to do to get enough to cut was rather than cut it all the way down because it did seem to me to have a noticeable change in the bass, but just by halving it, it got rid of enough of the hum, and it actually cleaned it up a little bit. So wow, good. Thank you very much. It's always great. I was wondering if I was going to just have to live with that I never thought about your idea. So yeah, we got it. All right. So look for my playlists. Of course, some of the other mixes they have the hum in it are there already. This will go up real soon, and along with the play along. So hey, thanks everybody for spending the evening with me. My wife just left for Japan. She's there with my son. He's going to do a little Japanese school before he goes to kindergarten next year, and so they're gone for a little while, so I'm going to do extra projects while they're gone. So, anyhow, let's go back and listen to one track before I go. Hey, Joe Doria, what's going on, man? All right, I want to let you guys hear one more tune. Let me see, which one was my favorite tune from tonight? Uh, let's play this one. It'll be fun. All right, God bless you all. We'll see you soon, okay? This is a short but sweet but fast. Let's see what happens. There you go. Thank you very much for hanging with me. Looks like we got it. Hey, man, thank you for your help also, guys. Randall, Henry. So nice to see you, Craig and Nunya. You see, I never sleep. I just keep going. That's fun. So I got the mix. I think that's good. So hang out. This is going to be in the my play along list over there on YouTube called Tony's Private Collection, and I'm putting up a mix every week from the shows without all the commercials. And God bless you all. We'll see you real soon. Okay.